Is renting really throwing money away, or is buying a house the biggest financial trap people fall into? Everyone has an opinion, but today we're cutting through the noise and breaking down the real costs of renting versus buying in 2025. And trust me, the numbers might surprise you. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly when it makes sense to rent, when buying is actually smarter, and how the current market is shifting everything. We'll break down real numbers, hidden costs, and help you make the right choice for your situation. So if you're thinking about buying or renting, you need to watch this video first. Let's get into it. So you've probably heard these statements before. Renting is just throwing away money, or buying is always the better investment. But are these actually true? Well, not always. Let's break this down. Myth number one, renting is throwing money away. The truth is, when you rent, you're paying for flexibility, maintenance-free living, and avoiding major financial risks. And sometimes that's the smarter move, and we'll see why in a minute. Myth number two, buying always builds wealth. While homeownership can be a great investment, it also comes with some hidden costs that most people never consider. Property taxes, maintenance, closing costs, mortgage interest. Owning a home isn't just about the mortgage payment, it's about everything else that comes with it. And some of these hidden costs can add up fast. So let's compare buying versus renting with some real numbers. All right, so let's say you're choosing between renting a three-bedroom, two-bathroom house in Phoenix for $2,000 a month or buying an equivalent $400,000 home with 5% down and the current mortgage interest rates of about 7%. So let's do some math. All right, first we'll break down the scenario if you're going to rent. So assuming you have a $2,000 monthly rent, we're going to have some additional expenses there too. So we're going to assume for the purpose of the video, $20 a month for your renter's insurance. Utilities, we're going to use an average of $375 a month. Maintenance will be zero because that's covered by your landlord in this scenario, bringing our total monthly cost to $2,395 to rent. Now that we looked at what it's going to cost you to rent, let's go ahead and look at the numbers of what it's going to cost you to buy here. So your total principal and interest payments for a $400,000 house are going to come out to around $2,528 a month. You're also going to have some property taxes, which those are going to come out to roughly $263 a month. You're also going to have your homeowner's insurance, which is going to cost you around $66 a month. For this example, we're going to use the same price of $375 a month for your utilities, and we're also going to factor in around $150 a month for maintenance and repairs, bringing your total monthly cost to buy a house to $3,382. So in this case, owning is nearly $1,000 more expensive per month than renting, and that's not including closing costs, down payment, and your potential interest over time. Staying only 5 years renting is actually going to save you money in this case because of your lower monthly expenses and the flexibility to avoid major repairs and market downturns. But if we go ahead and look at some other numbers here, you're going to realize that over an extended period of time, owning actually might make more sense to you. Given these current numbers we're working with, your break even is after 9 years. And after 9 years, buying is now going to cost you $2,662 less than renting. And if we go to the extent of that 30-year period, it's going to cost you $187,000 less than renting due to the appreciation of your home and your increase in your equity. So now that we know our numbers, now let's determine what's the best situation for you. There are some situations where renting actually does make more financial sense than buying, so let's go over those. The first one would be when you move often. If you're relocating every few years, buying a home can be risky. The selling costs, such as your commission fees and others, can really eat into that equity that you've built up. Another option would be you'd rather invest those extra savings instead. Say you're renting for $2,000 a month instead of owning for that $3,000. Are you really saving the difference? You could invest that extra $1,000 a month in the stock market and you might see a better return than the home appreciations. The third option would be if you live in an expensive market. High cost areas, renting usually lets you live in a better location without the insane mortgage payments. So we talked about when renting could be cheaper. Now let's talk about when buying actually makes more sense. The number one would be when you plan on staying for 7 or more years. The more you stay, the more time you allow to build equity in the home. But you usually need at least 7 to 10 years to offset the high upfront costs, such as your closing costs and down payment. Another option would be when you buy below market value. The best way to make smart investment in real estate is buying it below the price it's actually worth. You can get a deal and build instant equity in the property. Number three would be house hacking. Buying a duplex or renting out the extra rooms in the home can make homeownership way more affordable. And if you do this right, you can possibly live for free. Now we need to cover the current state of the market. Compared to COVID, interest rates are somewhat high, but historically they're relatively average. Home prices are still fluctuating, and no one really knows what's happening next. So should you buy now or wait? Let's break it down. First, if interest rates drop, more buyers are likely to jump into the market. Why? Because lower interest rates mean monthly payments are more affordable. But here's the catch. When demand goes up, prices usually follow. So even though your mortgage rate might be lower, you could end up paying more for the house itself. On the flip side, if you wait too long, you might miss out on great deals that are available today. There's no perfect time to buy, but markets shift fast. A property that's a bargain now could be out of reach in 6 months. Then there's the question of timing the market, which is nearly impossible. Trying to predict the exact moment when both rates and prices are ideal is like trying to win the lottery. Instead of focusing solely on the market, consider your own situation. One, are you financially ready? Do you have a stable income, a solid credit score, and enough saved for a down payment and emergencies? How long are you planning on staying in the home? If it's less than 5 years, renting might be the smarter move because it takes time to build equity and offset those closing costs. Also, can you afford the monthly payments comfortably? Not just the mortgage, but also taxes, insurance, maintenance, and other unexpected repairs. The key? Buy smart, not emotionally. Don't rush into buying because you fear missing out, but also don't let the fear of the market stop you from truly getting ready. Do the math, run the numbers, and make a decision that aligns with your financial goals. Final takeaways here are buying isn't always better and renting isn't always throwing away money. The best option, it depends on your situation. Think critically, plan wisely, and make the choices that fit your life and financial future. So what do you think? Are you going to be buying or renting in 2025? Go ahead and drop a comment down below. And if you found any of this helpful, go ahead and smash that like button and drop a subscribe. It really helps out the channel. And if you have any other questions or want to know more about the Phoenix real estate market, go ahead and give me a call and I'd be happy to help you out. My name is Caden. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.